The death of a pope initiates a period of mourning and transition for the Catholic Church. The first formal step occurs when the Vatican's head of health services confirms the pope's death. This official then prepares a detailed medical report. Cardinal Kevin Farrell, serving as Camerlengo, presides over the traditional pronouncement of death. This somber ritual takes place within the Pope's private chapel at Santa Marta. The Camerlengo assumes a critical role, drafting and issuing the formal declaration of death to which the medical report is attached. This declaration marks the official start of the interregnum, the period between popes. The Camerlengo's responsibilities extend beyond these initial duties. He becomes the caretaker of the Church, managing its temporal affairs until a new pope is elected. He takes possession of the papal fisherman's ring, a symbol of the Pope's authority, which will be destroyed later in the process. These actions, steeped in tradition, ensure a smooth transition of power within the Church. Pope Francis, known for his humility, had requested a simple funeral reflecting his desire to be remembered as a shepherd, not a sovereign. His body, clothed in red liturgical vestments, is placed in a plain wooden coffin. Departing from tradition, there is no requirement for multiple coffins. The coffin is first displayed in the Pope's chapel for private goodbyes. It is then moved to St. Peter's Basilica, where the faithful can pay their respects. In another break from tradition, the body lies facing the congregation, not on a raised platform. This simple presentation underscores Pope Francis's wish for a relatable, accessible farewell. His emphasis on his role as a bishop resonates in these choices. They reflect his belief in the universality of the Church and his desire to be close to the people. On the eve of the funeral, a solemn ritual unfolds in St. Peter's Basilica. The Camerlengo leads the ceremony to seal the coffin, a final act of preparation for the Pope's journey to eternity. Coins minted during the Pope's reign are carefully placed inside the coffin. These coins represent the temporal aspect of his papacy. A rogito, a detailed account of his life and papacy, is read aloud, then sealed in a cylindrical tube. Finally, a white veil is placed over the Pope's face, symbolizing his transition to eternal peace. The coffin is then sealed, marked with a simple cross and adorned with the papal coat of arms. This powerful moment signifies the completion of an earthly journey and the beginning of a new existence. The funeral mass, a solemn and grand affair, takes place in St. Peter's Square. Cardinals, bishops, and dignitaries from around the world gather to pay their respects. The Mass is presided over by a high-ranking cardinal, often the Dean of the College of Cardinals, Cardinal Giovanni Battista Re. In his absence, the Vice Dean, Cardinal Leonardo Sandri, or another senior cardinal, would lead the ceremony. Following the Mass, the sealed coffin begins its final journey. Breaking with tradition, Pope Francis chose to be laid to rest not in St. Peter's Basilica, but in the Basilica of St. Mary Major. This basilica houses the venerated icon of the Salus Populi Romani, a depiction of the Virgin Mary holding the Christ child. Pope Francis held a deep devotion to this icon, often visiting it to pray. His burial in this significant basilica speaks to his profound Marian devotion and his humility. The Camerlengo oversees the interment, concluding the formal rites for the departed pope. Following the burial, the Church enters a 9-day mourning period, the Novemdiales, before the conclave begins the process of electing a new pope.